Good afternoon, actually, everyone. Today I'm doing some video analysis for my friend Tabrice's senior team, Catford Wanderers, who are playing in yellow. We're going to be looking at any potential problems they have and offer workable and easy solutions to help them improve as a team. As players, they're all very good players. No issues with them. And if this does go on YouTube, please don't be dickheads. These are people that are out playing football, and you're sitting in your pants after another disappointing wank. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you a clip that I think demonstrates the fixable problems that I see. I'm just going to run it a little bit, and there we go. Here we can see what the problem is. So we've got a really nice block. You can see the two defensive lines there. This guy, very impressive, is marshalling it. But our big problem is that our centre forward, and there are some more off screen, is too far away. So this is one line, this is two lines, this is three lines. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 players between this line. And what that means, in actual fact, is that if any of these guys, this sort of quartet, this trio, here, receive the ball, the block, which has been so nicely organised, is going to be disrupted because someone's going to have to come out of the block, leaving space in order to pressure the ball. So ideally what we want is we want this guy further back. Now you might be thinking, but what if we get a lucky break or we do a great tackle? This guy is completely free. Well, I'll show you the rest of the clip, and I'll explain to you why it's not always the best thing. So we do get a break. It comes out, but we don't have enough men around to support the attack. The guys won the ball, and I think that this here is their inside right forward. They're both going to be making runs on the outside, so we've got some movement. But what we want to be doing is we want to be getting these two guys, or these three, want to be getting our back line up the pitch so we can control the game. And what happens is we get look at that strength and control from the 9, sprays it out, really good play. Unfortunately, the guy that won the ball has dropped out of the attack, and now we've only got 2 players. All right, because this guy has come out of the block, and this guy was ahead of the block, but because we haven't pushed up as a team, we don't have enough options, and really, this guy's only choice is either to head to the corner and hope people come up, or he should probably turn back, play it, and move the team up the pitch. However, he puts in. I mean, to be honest, if there's a striker there, that's a great ball, but there's no one there, and this is a common problem that happens when your lines, when you're not playing compact enough. There's not enough support and there's not enough options to work the ball. All right. Another problem that I've noticed is at 254. All right. So we have 4 men here marking one guy. We have one guy in the midfield. This just isn't an effective way to structure your team. Okay. The only real space we can see actually is this guy can go out here. But if you look, all these guys here are marked, and there's 3 guys here. So this guy probably isn't going to get anywhere. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the technique to do it, but he's not going to have the support to be able to do anything. So ideally, what we want would be Tabrice to come in and form a double pivot with your friend here, and maybe for the fullback to get forward, because we only need one more person at the back than they have, and we're fine. All right. So as we play it, we're going to see another problem that forms. This is a good example, Tabrice, about why you should move in here, because this 21 is a good boy, and he's going to follow his pass because by following that pass, he creates a triangle with the left winger, that allows the left winger to spin into space and things, but it also leaves you completely open in the middle. So you should be going and helping your team out here by dropping in there. Okay, so the ball comes out, and this is an issue here. Is we've got players making run. You can see another guy there, all stretching the pitch, but we need someone here. All right, we need someone between the lines that is able to receive and turn, and then one of these centre backs is going to have to come out and deal with him, leaving space in. So I'll give you all the recommendations at the end, but one of these forwards, I think that this guy here might be the number 8, like the box midfielder. One of these forwards has got to do something called a table and drop into the space, drop into that pocket. Yeah, when I pause it here, there's got to be someone here. All right, you're okay. I mean, Tabrice, maybe you could go and fill that space, but you would have to tell the guy behind you that he's got to come up and help your friend out here in midfield. All right, so what else do we have? 4:33. All right, this is quite good. This is something that we're going to talk about next. Tabrice, you should be running here. You really need to be creating that angle for your friend here. But look at this wonderful pass. Look at that. Cuts everyone out. And then again, this is a problem. Is everyone is running and no one is dropping into the space that's being created. And just a little tip for numbers. I think that this is number 17 here. You're making the correct run here. You're running the channel, and ideally you want to sort of be curving it around, because if we do have someone that's dropping in this space, in this pocket here, we need a clear passing lane to that guy. And watch what happens when you stop your run. What you're actually doing is you're shutting off a pass into the midfield. If you make that run round there, this guy here has got the option to cut in even more and get a better angle. So just trust your conviction and make space for other people. But once again, there's got to be someone in this space here. The 9 and this guy here should probably make a system about who's dropping and who isn't. And then look, we get a nice near post shot, well saved by the keeper. All right, but you can see that space that needs to be filled. Okay, so the reason that space needs to be filled is because this is essentially what we see from our team shape. Like, we have a very conservative backline that sits deep. We have 4 forwards that essentially just run in straight lines, and we have a left winger who is holding width but is isolated, so he's not getting a platform to perform if he gets the ball. So yeah. All right. Let's talk about how we can actually support people a little bit more. So the first thing, and this is really important, right? Is you want to be at 45-degree angles to the people around you. When we're building up from the back, we always want this kind of like U-shaped curve, because it means that everyone is on that angle and we're very unlikely to lose the ball. The second thing that we want is we want our 6 and our 10 to stay central. All right? And I'll explain why. So we want our 6 to stay central because he's got to keep all these players here, like this 4 here, he's got to keep them honest, right? Because he's not allowed to receive the ball in between the lines. So he's essentially pinning all of these players here and allowing a space out wide. The 8 can float. He knows the team, I don't. So if you normally go out on that side, the 8 is going to play this side. And if you normally go out on Tabrice's side, the 8's going to come on that side, because his job is to come and create support angles, the 45-degree angles, in order to progress you up the team. But what we want, right, is we want these distances to be a bit closer, and we want people around so that you can combine and you can play and you can show your skills and your ability. And we do that by being on 45-degree angles. We also want to take care of the ball a little bit more. So number 5 is an excellent passer of the ball. Put your foot on the ball and wait for one of these guys to make a mistake. So if they both rush you, you can play back to the goalkeeper. I've seen this keeper. He can clear his lines. So there's no danger there. But play it, like, if they're blocking the centre, play it out to Tabriz. The 8 will come in here. Tabriz can go on a run. The 8 can drop. 7 can come in. But all you want to be doing, right, is you always want to be getting on support angles at 45 degrees with your friends. Be as far away as you can, but as close as necessary, so they can play easy passes. All right, and we'll go into that a little bit more. 5:14 fill in spaces on the angle. We've done that. Okay, 9:49. I think that this is an example of what I am talking about here. Yeah. Okay, right. Tabriz. As that ball gets played back, this is where you take your picture of the pitch. Okay, so you should know where this guy Braggs is. I mean, like, he's taking himself out of the game, to be honest. They're playing with one less with his position there. You should know where this guy, your number 10, is. You should know where your number 9 is, and all these things, and then you can make a decision. So as the ball comes out, you're poor. Right, this is a poor position. You should either be there or there, right? And the reason is because it gives a support angle to the guy on the ball. So if you are here and Braggs has got to come out and close you down, you can easily just take a step back and there's a ball there. If Braggs doesn't go to your ball player here, he just wanders up the pitch. And if you go and occupy this space here, then he's going to be able to come out here and create the angle. So, like, I'm not saying that this is terrible, but here, after you don't get the ball, make a decision. All right? Because what happens is this, right? We play a long ball. I want you to look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the goalkeeper, 6. More than half our team is behind the ball, and we're launching it out here to a number 9 who's very strong and he's a good player, but this isn't giving him a platform to perform. Right? All he's going to do is end up like fighting with this guy and the ball going out. And a lot of it is because you didn't give the guy the option here. Like, he can't play the ball to you because you've basically taken yourself out of the game there. All right. So have we done support angles? Do I need to do a bit more on support angles? I'll just give you one more sort of thing on support angles, because it's really, really easy, and all you guys know this, which is that what you want to be doing is you want to be pulling these players out of position. So, for example, if the 9 like goes in hard here to try and pressure your number 2, if their 11 is too tight, you can play it through the lines, all right, and then you do all your movements. You all know your movements. Like, the 2's going to go there, the 11's going to go there, people are going to drop, etc., etc., etc. And if the 9 doesn't go, bait him out, and let's say that the 11 is on the 8, getting that nice horseshoe shape. You've got your left winger, right, and now look at all the options that your left winger has. all right, because he's isolated by himself most of the time. So now, by everyone moving onto support angles, he's got the ability to play different things. So that would be my first recommendation, is that have a rule in your team that everyone is always on a 45-degree angle to the guy who's got the ball, and then think ahead, right? So if you see your mate is at 45 degrees to the guy on the ball, you've got to then think, I need to be here. You start moving like that, you'll have so much more of the ball. But the next thing we're going to talk about is blocks, all right? Because this is a prime example of why you should defend, defend in a block, all right? Ball gets thrown out here. Look at our number 8. What is he meant to do here? Okay. There's that guy out there. This guy, Big Breakfast, is on the ball. Brags or Frags or whatever it's called is behind and between. This is poor organisational play from the team. It's no one's fault. It's just you're all set up really poorly. So what you can see is exactly like I was saying beforehand about getting on an angle. Number 8 has come out too far here, and he's allowed that pass in to the number 9. Ball comes in, and also I want you to pay special attention to this boy out here. All right, ball gets played in, Tabriz gets spun. All right, good play, but not the end of the world. Beautiful body shape from this guy here. We're okay, but do you see how this team are on different lines? When we attack, we all run in a straight line, all next to each other. They're on different lines. That means that if this guy goes to pick this guy up, then this guy's one-on-one, and that guy's running in around the back and so on. So look at how they're attacking the space and try and do something similar. And as the ball... Now look, you've recovered really well, but look who takes the shot. It's the number 23. Where did 23 start? That is number 23 there. So what has happened here is our centre forward hasn't scanned, okay? Because this is your man, and it's fine to let him go as long as you pass it on to someone. But look, he runs off. This guy hasn't scanned. He's got no clue. This guy has no clue either. And look, he's just running in a straight line. You need to talk to each other, because no one is expecting you to like stick to someone like glue and run wild all the time. But you need a better defensive structure, because this all starts from trying to block a ball out wide and then playing through the lines. So this is what I would suggest on how you should set up as a defence. All right, centre backs and forwards are not going to like this, but it's just the way it is. Just defend in a 4-4-2 block. Okay, this is a 4-4-2 block, and you want to like stand there like you ever see them people from New Zealand, the Maoris or whatever, doing the haka, like, and they're just all there and they're like, come on lads, try and play through us, we're warriors. That's what you boys have got to do. You've got to make this big block and see if you can break us down. And what you will tend to find is that teams won't be able to break you down. They'll only be able to do two things. One is they'll try and play around the block by going into wide areas, and that is happy days for your centre-backs, because they're going to see everything in front of them. They're going to be able to come out and meet the ball if it's delivered into the box. Easy work. Or they're going to try and play over and just bang it over the top, and that's our ball. All right, and how this works is your 9 and 10 have just got one job, right? And that job is that the ball is only allowed wide. It's not allowed to be played through. Okay, so what they're going to do is one of them is going to apply pressure on the ball, and the other one is going to be lurking in that channel and forcing the ball into a part of the pitch. Okay? Now, how you keep your shape in the block is down to your 4 and your 6 in this case. So your 4 is going to be in charge of where the line is going to be held. Okay, so unfortunately, you know, we always know that forwards and strikers argue about lines, but when it's defensive, you set up with the 4. So the 4 is going to tell the 2 and the 6 where they're going to go, and with his natural relationship, he's just going to position himself with the 5. The 5 is going to do exactly the same with the others, and then the 6 is going to tell the 11 and the 9 where to stand. And that is how you're going to keep your shape in the block. Okay, you're going to listen to each other and you're going to do it. And believe me, if you play like this, it's going to be so difficult to break you down. And now we're going to talk about, one last thing, right? Which is this is going to be scary for the defenders, but I would suggest that you do something called the +1. All right. So the +1 is, where's the +1? I don't know. Actually, I'll show you something about the block. If you get people doing this when you're doing a block, don't worry about it, because they're not going to be doing anything. They're actually taking themselves out of the game, and your wingers and fullbacks shouldn't be doing this extreme width. But if, for example, the ball is here, and we're in a nice shape, and then we force it out here, and then knock it out here, all you really want, right, is you want your 3 to come out and contest that space there. He doesn't even have to make a challenge, just has to hold him up. Your 7, this is the really important thing, is going to stop the ball inside. We're only going to allow them to play back out. And if you're worried about the amount of running that you do, just play on a slight diagonal. All right, because normally you'd want your 3 and your 2 a little bit higher than your 5 and the 4. Just drop so that you're level. You're not playing anyone on side, and you just drop onto a diagonal, and it takes 5 yards. Then that's 5 yards less that you got to run. But when we are in possession, all right, when we're in possession, right, if they're playing 2 up top, you only need 3. Okay, you only need 3 at the back, and the 2 and the 4 are going to be responsible for defending the wider areas, and the 5 is going to be responsible for being central. So if the ball gets turned over and knocked out here, the 4 is going to come here, the 5 is going to come here, and the 2 is going to come here, because we're going to protect the centre. All right. I know it's scary if you've never played these systems before, but believe me, it works. It's the reason why people play them. And the other important thing is that now the centre-back is going to take his position and his line's position from the striker. All right? Because you can't be more than, let's say, 35 metres apart. All right? What that means is that when the ball gets turned over or there's a loose pass, you've got loads of men that can come and put pressure on the ball. They're not going to be able to do anything, and they're just going to boot it back to you. All right. I've probably gone on a little bit more, but I'll just do one last thing, right? Which is on the ball, you want 2 systems with the front 3 that you play. One is going to make a run out here to create a bit of space, and one is going to drop in to that space, and then this guy is going to come central. Just try those movements, make it up between yourselves, and I think that you'll find that you'll begin to score a lot more goals, but it's really important that someone drops back here. All right, I've rabbited on for bloody ages, but I'm going to show you the goal just to finish off, because it's pretty much everything that we talked about. So as the ball gets played back, look at Tabrice, brilliant. You're making a support angle. because of that support angle, you're able to play a central ball. You're on a 45-degree angle, so you get the ball back. Look at that. Played in. This guy has dropped. He's come to help you. Look, he's made your job a lot easier. Behind and between, he gets the ball. Look at this guy. This guy, right, has had to break out of his position. He's charging in like, I don't know, like he's charging in too fast. He's not slowed down. So he's very, very easy to beat. And then this is really, really good. I really like this from the number 9. The number 9 has come in to make that thing called a table. He's bought this guy Big Breakfast with him, but Big Breakfast is shitting himself about what's out here, but he knows he has to come in. And then this guy here produces a pass of real quality. Everyone is cut out. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, check this finish out, lads. Bang! What an own goal. But look at it again. It's absolutely beautiful. And you boys, if you play on 45-degree angles and defend in a block, so you have more of the ball, you're going to score so many goals if you just play like this. Like, look at that. Absolutely brilliant. They're running all over the place. Look at them. They don't know how to defend this because they're not defending in a block. Oh, that is so good. Do you see how much better this structure is? Like, a man in between the lines. Ideally, that guy could come in a little bit, but there we are. But anyway, I've gone on for too long. I hope that this was of some use to anyone that was watching, and maybe I will speak to Tabrice and the lads in a bit more detail. But anyway, thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.